Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Infamous Idiots podcast. My name's Marco,
I'm Richard. What's up?
and we are the Idiots. It has been a wild week. Your boys try to be consistent, but life just kept bending us over and pegging us, apparently.
Yeah.
Without consent, too, so no Diddy, but...
Okay.
but still, we're back. We got a lot to talk about. It's the spooky season. I'm excited. You're not dressing up this year, right?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think I'm just gonna do play Resident Evil and stream on Halloween.
Are you gonna pass candy out at least?
No. The hell?
Don't be that grumpy old man. You're already grumpy and old. Now you're gonna be that grumpy old man that's like, get off my lawn.
Yeah, I'm like, don't look at my car, bro. My car is on the lawn.
I hope they egg your car now.
No. Dude, my car has been... Dude, you know my car has been egged multiple times.
You deserve that, though.
No, I do not.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
My car has been egged.
Says the person that introduced me to egging.
It's been egged. It's been egged 4 times.
Dude, that might have been payback.
Twice when I lived in one of my apartments, and then once at my parents', and then once where I live now.
Like, that's what you get for having a nice car, you fucking
No, dude, I
douchebag.
swear to God, that's what they do. And people will especially when I was younger and I looked younger, people would be like, "How'd you get that car, bro?" They just make up some snarky remark, and I'm like, "Sorry, you can't afford it, bro. I don't know what to tell you." Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you're not wrong.
What's your level of cope? Because it's on display right now.
Yeah. You say as you pass through the car wash, you're like, I'm unbothered, bro. This is just a nuisance. Is all.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a brick.
Yeah, I mean, thank God, but I mean, that's what insurance is for. So I have full coverage. People that actually have cars and responsibilities.
Oh my God.
We have to deal with these type of things.
I knew you were gonna lead into that. You're such a bitch, but
how does it feel to
valid
walk
point.
everywhere?
You know what sucks is like for the amount of I walk and take public transportation.
Okay, what's the least? Since I don't drive. I mean, I drive everywhere. If I have to do something, I drive. What's the most annoying thing you have to do? Like if you have to go do something, what's the most annoying thing you have to do?
I have to
public transportation wise.
Just timing.
Oh, timing. Okay.
Timing, because thankfully we live in a different era where public transportation can be easier. Like
Uber and stuff.
Uber, apps that help you track the bus. That was an ever thing back in the day when I was younger and I had to take the bus. You used to have to call. If you had a phone, like when you called on your phone and you would put it, it's just this whole process that is just negated now thanks to technology, which is great. It kind of makes you just manage your time well. You're forced to, otherwise you're kind of fucked. Thankfully though, like you said, like Lyft or Uber, like have that in the back pocket. Like I've woken
if you ever have to get somewhere right now.
Yeah, like I've woken up, like my alarm didn't wake me up for work one time, and it was like 20 minutes till my shift. I'm like, I'm not gonna make it there. Like I'm gonna be
there
like,
right now. Yeah.
So I mean, it's nice for that stuff, for sure. But yeah, I think having your car is better because it just allows you a certain amount of freedom.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know,
so much freedom, bro.
And then just driving around like is just actually really fun, just depending on the vibe,
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, there's been so many times when tragic stuff happens, or not even tragic stuff. Like sometimes if it's good stuff, you just go on the back roads and you just go drive through the forest. It's sunny out and you're just like, windows are down. You're just like, dude, this is awesome. It's just me and the music that I want to listen to.
Great.
Yeah, it's
no,
awesome.
I get it. Yeah,
and you're just speeding.
There's something about like night drives too that are super dope, man. It can be scary in the back roads, but it can be very calming as well. Like really, like you said, listening to the music you want to listen to, vibing whatever you want to vibe with. It's a vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Yeah, dude. Timing. That's it. Yeah, that's the biggest one, bro. That's it. That's it.
I mean, it's been a long time since I haven't had a car, but before how I used to get around was like longboard or walk, and I would always have to. I knew what you're talking about because I'd be like, okay, it's gonna take if I longboard, I'd be like, okay, I have to take this route in order to get the max amount of speed there. Because I would be like
quicker, yeah.
Because I'd be like, okay, there's a hill that leads to this hill that leads to this hill, so I can just bomb it all the way through, and I can just go.
Do you remember that hill that we all fell on? It was like
Dude,
there's a hill.
There's this one hill that's mad. Like it goes like this. starts off kind of slow to kind of pick up speed, hits a bump, and then it just plummets. And we're all of us fell there at separate times, and we're all like, I think I was either one of the last ones or near the last, because I know our other friend was the first one to fall, so we already knew about it.
Yeah,
and
he warned us about it.
Yeah, he's like,
be careful, dude. And I love him to death. He also gifted me a bike, which was like the sweetest thing you could do.
That's why I said I think I'm the one that happened to last, because I remember that happened to you, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ride on the other side, because you guys both ate shit on the right side. I'll go on the left side.
It's the same. It's the same.
And I wore a tank top, so I got road rash.
I wasn't, dude. No, I wasn't on the. I started off on the right. But when I started sliding down the hill, I veered into the left. So where I stopped was actually the completely opposite side of the road. Dude, I'll never forget that. It's kind of a core memory. Because I laughed right afterwards. Even though when I got home, I laughed.
Yeah.
Not at that moment.
It's a thing you laughed at afterwards.
Yeah, I was in pain at that moment. And some poor couple took pity on me and took me home. Don't know why I got into this car full of strangers, but they said they saw the entire thing, which was embarrassing. Yeah, man, that was also that bike just didn't have brakes. That's why I called it a death trap. Great bike, love the thought, used it a lot, but fuck, bro, no brakes. Ah, dude.
Yeah.
And
see, when I went down, I took my longboard, and I had already bombed multiple hills. Like I was like, I'm pretty confident on how I'm gonna do this, and I kind of like planned it out, like how I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I was like, is it windy today? Yeah, and so I went for it, because like biggest thing when you're like longboarding is like basically you just gotta have like no fear. If you have fear, then you're gonna have speed wobbles, then you're gonna blah blah. It's like about staying calm, but there is a point when you feel it, and you're like, oh, there's no point in no return here.
Yeah,
like, you're just going.
You gotta commit.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is like, when you get to the point of when you're like, oh shit, I'm going to eat shit. It's either I eat shit going straight forward towards this brick, because like the way it was, there's like this brick wall lining over here protecting the houses or apartments or whatever they are. And I was like, either I can eat shit over here, or I can eat shit kind of on this like incline hill where there's grass over here, but it's kind of a divot into like a creek. I was like, I'm making a jump for the creek, and as I jumped, the board slid out, and I didn't jump at all, so my ass hit the sidewalk immediately, and then I rolled, and then I just stuck on my back. I was like, and then I like rolled over my shoulder one more time, and I was like, oh, it was burnt right here. And then I had to go to my girlfriend's right after.
That I remember.
You were there. You were there later that day. It wasn't at that particular moment, but yeah,
I remember that your back was all.
And I wore a tank top, and it was hot. I was like, I'm not walking down this hill.
I remember being happy because you talked so much shit.
Yeah, I did.
You're like, I'd never fall down that hill.
No.
And then what happened?
Well, I also want to know is that by that point I already knew how to fall. Like once
sounds like you slid.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like once you actually start hitting the ground and going in the motion, you kind of know what to do, like cover your head, and you need to like roll. That I've aimed shit multiple times. Thank God I don't fucking longboard anymore, because I definitely have some broken bones. Thank God I learned how to drive.
Old man.
Dude, I fucking stopped. I think 18 is like the last time when I stopped riding my longboard.
You still have one?
Oh, I still have it.
Do you ever
I still
feel
get on it every once in a while, but I'm like, yeah, this little hill, there's like a hill outside my house that used to just instantly go down, no problem. Now I'm like, dude, this hill's fucking sketchy.
Dude,
I'm
it's
like,
because
whoa.
now you've delivered like some sort of like, I don't want to say conscious, but you're like, holy shit, I'm human.
Well, it's not just that, but it would be like before when I was 18, if I broke a bone, I have my parents' insurance. Like I didn't have a job at that point. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm under their roof.
That's a really good point, actually.
Now I'm like, dude, that's a bill. I'm like, oh my God, that put me out of work, or it might put me into like some lower quality of like, you know, living day to day. It'd be like, dude, anything could happen. I'm like, I don't want to crack a spleen or something. You know what I mean? There's also those type of things. I did crack my spleen.
Yeah, I was gonna say you did crack your spleen.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't believe you tell him I did that to you on live.
This is live.
Oh, I mean, you know what I mean. On camera.
Mm-hmm.
He admitted it. I broke his spleen.
It was cracked, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you just gotta be gentle, bro. I used the safe word.
And I ignored it. He said pineapples, and I'm like,
Core memory.
Cucumber. Oh man.
All right,
Anyways,
enough gay jokes. Let's go.
no, there can never be enough.
No,
what are you
I
talking
agree,
about?
dude. They're fun.
Yeah. Plus,
I'll never forget the time I made him beat red at the movie theater. I was like,
yeah,
"You can at least hold my hand." He was the
yeah.
was right as
that
this
was
couple was walking right in front
that
of
was Long Legs, wasn't it?
No, it was Furiosa.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it wasn't Furiosa because we went to IMAX. Yeah, it was. They weren't going seeing Furiosa, but we were seeing Furiosa. They were walking directly towards us to like kind of walk in front of us in line. And I was like, "You can at least hold my hand."
You're right. And he
we
looked
kinda,
at
like,
me.
we made
He
eye
looked at
contact
me with deep judgment too. He was like, "It's okay to come out." I can tell when his eyes said to me too, and I'm like, "Bro, he's just doing this, okay?"
You're like, God, if I defend myself, it's gonna make it look worse.
It really does. You can't defend yourself because then you're like, "No, it's not gay," and you're like, "Oh,
Is that a
no, I'm
problem?
saying, bro, like it's cool."
yeah.
You're like, "I'm not gay."
You just gotta play into it.
Yeah,
Embrace
exactly. You got to make sure which one admits to losing by breaking.
Exactly.
You know, this is usually how it goes.
All right, 100%.
But anyways, since it's spooky season, I thought it would be cool to kind of pull together like a quick top 5 list of horror movies that we love. Just obviously and right for the spooky season, and I'm excited to get to our list. So do you want to?
Yeah, I'll
Start it
go
off?
first. I have an honorable mention.
We'll go boom, boom,
Yeah, I'll go.
boom, boom,
Okay.
boom, boom.
There's no particular order other than my top 2
Mhm.
personally, but I do have one that just didn't make the list, and that's Talk to Me. Talk to Me was so fucking good.
Fuck!
It was so good. I loved it,
I feel.
and it was made from those. What's their name?
Raka, but they're the Philpo brothers.
Yeah, I grew up watching them. Like they made the Halo thing that I loved.
Great.
It was so
dude.
awesome, right?
Those dudes
And
are so awesome, man. I will watch anything that those guys
That
make.
Talk to Me blew me away. I
Mhm.
was already like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch them. I'll support them and blah blah. But it's different when you actually go there and your whatever expectations you had is now exceeded. Blew me away. I loved it. So that's why I had it as an
Honorable mention.
honorable mention because I just had to. But my first one is Poltergeist, the 1976 one. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe 80s. But that is one of my favorite horror movies. That thing was
Wow.
creepy as shit when I
I've
was
never
younger.
seen Poltergeist.
Dude, it was creepy as shit. So there's like a part.
Is it the clown?
Yes, the clown, bro. It's so scary.
I've seen the parodied version in Scary Movie.
yeah,
and
exactly.
that
The parody of it
terrifies
is good
me.
as well.
That's terrifying. That
Yeah,
one is
yeah, it is
terrifying too.
terrifying.
That traumatized me as a kid. I was like, I don't want that to happen to me.
Yeah, Poltergeist was terrifying as fuck. I watched it, dude, as like 7-year-old.
Do you know about the? I've never seen
skeleton in
Poltergeist.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the real
Apparently
skeleton.
it's real.
and haunted.
Yep.
Because yeah, dude, it's that
Well,
whole
dude, the movie is very eerie. Like
Eerie.
they nailed the atmosphere of like just
probably because
silence.
shit was happening.
Oh
like
no,
that
I
on
don't
the
doubt
set,
it.
dude.
Honestly,
It was
I really
insane.
don't.
The more you look into certain projects, you're like, oh wow, especially involving stuff like supernatural. Sometimes it
Yeah.
just winds up actually happening on the set,
Mhm.
which is
But yeah, I have Poltergeist, the
crazy,
OG one, as my number 5.
Mine isn't in any particular order, but I'm just gonna start like working my way down my list. I love these movies, and I will always consider these in my top 5. And the first one I'm gonna say is Scream. I love the original Scream. It's one of the first horror movies I remember watching very vividly, and I remember just being enthralled the entire time. It's a movie that definitely raised me. It was one of the few horror movies as a kid, for some odd reason, I could watch. I don't know that the logic in that, but you
Because
know.
they're actual human, probably.
Yeah, because I feel like that makes more sense to me, even though that's just as scary. Whereas like something like Freddy or Chucky, out of it as a kid, you're like, that's terrifying. No, thank
Yeah.
you. But yeah, man, I feel like I don't have to say anything much more. Scream is one of the greatest horror movies of all time.
Oh yeah.
Involving a great cast, an amazing scream queen, great twist, great villains, and iconic, even though they've only been in one movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, I don't have anything else to say. You guys already know Scream's goated for sure.
Yeah, goated 100%.
Yeah.
My next up is Get Out. I watched this like opening week, and that was like the most active audience I've ever been a part of. Like people were active, like don't do this, like talking, like talking out loud.
That's
and
funny.
everyone, I could feel like the vibe essentially. Like everyone else is like kind of like, oh my god,
Oh, dude, that's so
Like it
cool.
just had like a tension build up that just kept ramping and
Uh-huh.
ramping and ramping.
Jordan
And then
Peele.
like yes, and then when you get to the part when I guess it's a spoiler, but when he's calling out and the cop shows up and everyone's like, "Oh no!" Like, dude, it was just like a vibe. Like everyone was on the same page. This is awesome. So I have Get Out at my number 4. It was so good.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And
I
then
still
I'll
need
just,
to
I'll
watch
just
it.
do my next one real quick because it's Scream. For all the same reasons you just listed out.
Yeah. You know what sucks is the first two that you listed are I haven't seen them, and I should. I know I need to. Poltergeist has been one that's just escaped me for some odd reason, and Get Out, another one. Even though I've seen
I have it on
literally
Blu-ray.
every single one of his other movies,
Well,
like
you can watch it,
Us,
bro. I have it on Blu-ray.
I'm down.
It's so good. Like it's really good.
I'm down. My second one on my list is Evil Dead 2. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. I love this Evil Dead franchise, everything to do with it. I think 2 is like a special blend of horror, comedy, and slapstick. I love it. I've loved it since I was a kid. Yeah, man, I hold that movie near dear to my heart. I think Ash Williams is one of the best characters ever created. I literally have him on my wall.
He I can attest that he does.
Yeah, and yeah, man, it's good. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. You will be done with that movie being like, what the fuck did I just watch? But in like the
I do want
best
to watch
way
it,
possible.
though, and you did let me borrow it.
Yeah.
I just decided to watch other movies instead.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, I just went on a fucking horror movie kick. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, let's.
All right. So, and you said Scream.
I did say Scream, so you can do one more.
Okay. This one I know he's not gonna like, but The Exorcist is on my list. To me, this movie, because I really couldn't appreciate this movie until I got older and I was able to comprehend really what was going on and what makes this movie so good. And it's the fact that it starts off in a very realistic way. It's like there's no like immediate she's possessed. It's there's something mentally wrong with this little girl and we need to figure it out, but we don't know what's going on. And it gives this eerie feeling along with one of the best performances I think a young actress has ever done. Just fucking terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I love the ending because it's such a bleak movie overall, but it has like a hopeful ending in a way, but it's also kind of like foreboding,
So it's up to interpretation.
I wouldn't say that, but it does leave you with like a certain feeling.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I feel like you would have to watch it and then kind of try and put into words at the end, but I can't say enough good things about this movie. The score is iconic. That image of the father coming up and it's misty outside and the lights over him and he's seeing the house is so iconic. It's so good. If you've never seen it and if you're a horror fan, I always recommend you watch it. Even if you don't like it, you can appreciate a lot of the things it's done. That's all I have to say, man.
Respect.
Yeah.
And then I believe you haven't seen this one as well, which is kind of crazy because he always goes on about practical effects. Practical effects.
I love
The
that.
Thing. The
Yeah.
OG Thing.
Dude, you have so much on your list I haven't seen. That's actually
Yeah.
upsetting, but continue.
And honestly, like doing this list, I'm like, wow, I've actually, because like I would always like whenever he talks about things, I'm always like, I haven't seen that, But there's actually a lot of movies I have seen. It's just they're all older, like way back in the day in like 1970s, 80s or whatever. But the Thing is so fucking good. It's like very remote, so you get this feeling of like claustrophobia, like you're there with them, and also it leads to this anxiety of not really knowing who is gonna be the thing. And then you building like a rapport with someone, or like you're like, I just don't want this character to die. Like this character needs to live.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, is he infected?
Mhm.
Like, is he the thing now? Like, there's
Have-
subtle differences
it's-
between each person's performance that is so fucking well done.
So there's like this huge psychological aspect.
Oh yes,
to
one
it,
because
this-
everyone starts turning on each other as
Right.
well, because the
Which
thing,
makes- yeah,
the
that
thing
makes sense.
morphs into
I've seen the
them.
kill count.
Yeah, the thing turns into them, so they know, and they're like, it just has like it ratchets up as it goes on,
Mhm.
and I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, that's one that I genuinely feel like when I watch, when you hear a lot about a movie, it's hyped up.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like once I watch that movie, it's gonna live up to the hype.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies that just wind up living up
Well,
to
I
that.
think
Like,
part of
remember
it
when we
though.
watched The Shining?
Yeah,
We were
I was
like,
just gonna
everyone
say,
loves this.
Yeah,
And we watched it together and we're like, dude, this was so fucking good.
and I feel like that goes back to being like when it's one of the first kind of to do it essentially. You know, it has like this certain level of aesthetic as well, just like partly because of the technology that they were limited to at the time, like the film grain, you know, the setting that they had to
So
use, the
good,
practical
though.
effects that they had to use. Like it was, you know what I mean? Like it just has this
That's
certain type of
cinema.
yeah, has a certain type of vibe that you're able to just instantly pick up on because it feels more realistic as well. So I
Yeah.
think that's a big part of why, like you said, when it comes to The Shining, when we first watched it, I was like, dude, this thing's it was awesome.
Yeah.
The score was awesome. They're just like this fucking mansion, or it's not a mansion, but a resort, and it's
Yeah.
just like you're there,
I
and you're
remember-
witnessing it, and
I
it's
remember us
fucking
being
scary.
Yeah, I remember us being so enthralled from the beginning with the shot. I remember that was the first thing we said. You're like, this shot is sick.
Yeah,
And I remember
Yes.
very closely afterwards. I was like, this score is really cool. Dude.
yes, it was good.
You know, it's so
I think it just builds up the tension, and it, like I said, I think for me, when it comes to horror movies or just scary movies in general, is like the thriller aspect of it, of
Yeah.
things just getting going, and you're
Yeah.
like, what is gonna happen? Like when you are ask yourself what's gonna happen next, I think that's when the movie's done a good job.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's something about older films, especially,
Mm-hmm.
that have I feel like they have a love and a certain tone that is very hard, maybe not as replicated.
Yeah,
today.
but I think that goes back to the fact that they had to shoot on site. They had to do the practical effects because they had to. I guarantee you, they had to brainstorm. They're like, "All right, man, how are we gonna
Yeah.
do this? How are we gonna get everyone here?
Yeah.
It does snow part of the year. How we gonna work that in? Like,
Mhm.
I'm sure those meetings happen, and I feel like that's an extra level of like them feeling the care for it. You're like, no, it has to be done right. If we're doing this, it's doing done
Yeah,
right.
man. And plus, John Carpenter. That's like John Carpenter in his prime, from my understanding too. So, man, some dudes, man, they're just fucking,
Yeah,
you know,
they got it.
they do, bro. He got the sauce. He's the chef.
Mm-hmm.
Always let him cook. Mine, I've talked about it before. I don't think you haven't seen it either. Hellraiser.
Mm.
That's
Watch the kill. You made me watch the kill count.
I did.
Yeah, we watched the kill count together.
Huh.
You're like, you at least got to see this opening shot, and it was like the face melting together or whatever, but they shot it in reverse.
Oh yeah.
he made me watch
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I was like, that's cool.
Yeah. See, again, practical effects,
Mhm.
the score to that movie, the story. It's like erotic too, but it's also like there's a certain level of like fear you have with these unknown entities, and then just oh, dude, I can't recommend this movie enough. Honestly, if you like old horror movies and you've never seen Hellraiser, that's definitely number one. Is definitely goated up there for sure. It's up there with like Candyman. Have you seen Candyman?
I have not.
Fuck, that's an honorable mention. Candyman is an honorable mention. That's a
Okay.
great fucking film. Yeah, man, watch Hellraiser. I highly recommend it.
All right, I'll go to my number one, and there's gonna be a running theme, just like you said, John Carpenter, and I'm gonna go with 1978's Halloween. I mean, the first horror movie I ever watched, and it has stuck with me ever since. I will go back and watch it anytime. Anyone wants to watch it, I'll watch it with them. It's so good, and I will point out everything that I know about it and be like, this shot. This is the shot that I love the most.
Yeah,
And and again, it goes back to just being like low budget, and they had to do it a certain way,
Mhm.
and like long take, or like, one shots being done, the perspective that they're using, Michael stalking when they're in school and following them through the day, and then leading into the night. There's again tension that's being built up to when you know what's going to happen, and then when it does, you're like, whoa. And also the opening to that movie is bonkers. Having the kid be the killer, especially for that time era,
yeah.
I can only imagine that being like, holy shit.
Sacrilege.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I watched it for the first time, I was like, oh my god, I'm older than that kid.
You're like, I could be a killer.
Yeah, it's like this realization. You're like, oh my god, there is a knife.
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay. Anyways, but
Yeah.
yeah, Halloween, OG one,
That's yeah.
and I did talk about recently 2018, which is a direct sequel. Also awesome. fire.
You're like, gotta add that,
Yes,
okay?
always have to add it.
Yeah, dude, that one's great, man. That one's such a good film too.
Mm-hmm.
My last one on my list is pretty iconic. Nightmare on Elm Street. I think that first one is so good. The main character Nancy, she's definitely, you're gonna hear me say Scream Queen a lot, but I mean that in like with the utmost sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
I love Nancy Thompson. She's definitely one of the best Scream Queens because she also like she fought back against Freddy. Like you look back on that, she did like little traps to to fight him and shit. She was a fucking boss, bro. She was pre like babe like teen version of Laurie in Halloween 2018. With all those traps and shit. But yeah, man, score amazing, great performance. Freddy's not even in it for very long. That's the crazy thing. Johnny Depp first movie, he dies.
Yep. Stuck into a bed.
Yeah, iconic fucking kill too.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably the only thing and the scene where his hand comes out in the water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Those are the only two things I remember for that movie.
Or like the scene where he's coming out of the wall.
Oh yeah, that as well. Yeah.
Fucking love it. Great film, dude.
Mhm.
Top 5 of all time. Again, another goated horror movie. If you want to get into horror, if you've never
I
seen
should
it,
rewatch it, to be honest, because I've only seen it once and it was so long ago.
I think you would really enjoy it. I think you'd be like, dude, fucking banger. And Wes Craven made Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street. Goat. Just
I
the
forgot
goat.
about that, actually.
Yeah,
I forgot
man.
he made that.
And what's so cool too is that he went from being in the prior quote unquote like past generation of horror with like this like the 80s and the
Mhm.
90s, right? And then he comes back and reinvents the genre with Scream and adds something new and fresh. Go. That's all I gotta say. Go. That's why he's
Can't really
the
argue.
go.
He's the go.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Can't argue.
saying? So also he was there was a character in Scream 5 that was named after Wes Craven. His name's Wes. He dies, but fun fact.
I didn't know
Yeah, man. That kind of one leads me into like who your favorite horror character is. Who's
It's Michael.
Michael?
It's just Michael. I think, and again, I think it goes back to my first impressions with
Mhm.
him. And like I said, when he when I saw it when I was a kid, he's stalking them through this, like following them in school and after school. And
Dude, he's the
everything like
first
that.
one to do the Batman disappear. Think about it.
Yeah, he really is.
He was like, "I'm here, gone,
And now
not here."
gone. Yeah, he went into the bush. He was
Boom.
there the whole time. But that, especially at that age when I saw it, it embedded this fear in me to where I would look out the window. I'd be
During
like,
school, you'd be like, "Is
holy
he
shit,
there?"
especially as Halloween built up.
Mhm.
And I'd be like, dude, this is just terrifying. And that's why he's my favorite character of all time. I've also had my fair share of nightmares because of him as well. Mainly when I was younger, but it always have to do with my parents' house, because when you come out of where my room, you remember where the layout of my parents' house. So
Yeah.
my room is all the way at the end of a hallway. You come out and you have to walk and then go to the bathroom. And each time I would come out, I would always just look, and it's just this long, dark hallway. And then we have a big window. It's like over here, and it would illuminate some light coming in. So it'd be like you can kind of see, and it kind of looks like there's a figure there, but not really, because it's actually the unit where the
I feel
TV
like
would sit.
you're like, this is my trauma.
Yeah, I know it would be, but I love Michael, and I would always be
But
like, oh my
a
god.
good horror movie does that to you.
Mm-hmm. And I would always, we'd have the light, and I'd flash it on, and then turn it off, because I'd be like, okay, if he is there, I don't want him to know that I'm here because of the light.
Also,
So I'd walk in the darkness to go into the bathroom, and then run out to go back into the house, into my room.
dude, that's so funny. Also, iconic score.
Oh yes,
One of like, are
I would
probably
say
the most iconic.
iconic. I
Yeah,
would say
the
the
most
most
iconic horror theme.
I feel like a normal person, you could play and they're like, I know where that's from.
Yeah, because there's also just not a lot of horror themes that really stick out like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I would argue that Nightmare on Elm Street's original score, like the main title, is fucking iconic, but they don't use it after the first one. It's actually a fucking waste, honestly. If you listen to it, like it's just a certain.
that is weird.
Yeah, and Jason never really. That
I mean, it's just a.
yeah, but like that's just a noisy man.
Yeah,
It's not-
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying. It's not.
Yeah.
That's not his score.
But what I'm saying is like that's like an iconic sound though.
yeah. Oh no.
like you could play that and someone would be like,
it
I
is.
know where that's from.
I'd be like,
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
If you hear that randomly,
especially if it's 2009 Jason.
Yeah.
Fuck no. I'm
Mhm.
no.
Yeah, I'm dead.
No. Yeah, I'm dead. Give me fucking burlap sack Jason, the one with the fucking potato potato bag over his head and from fucking 2, dude.
Yeah.
Anything beyond when he has a fucking hockey mask, I just don't want to deal with. And if
Mhm.
oh god, dude. That 2009 we probably have definitely talked about this.
Oh, we have. We definitely
But it's
have.
just that Jason is like top, in my opinion, probably like the scariest Jason.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree. And then also, like, what? I think like 5 years later, you also had him in Mortal Kombat as well. You know, it was just a great time to be a Jason
I'm a fucking
fan.
kill. I fucking kill with Jason Voorhees in Mortal
He
Kombat
does
X,
actually. I can
dude.
attest to that. Well, because he
Yeah.
has a sick ass move set in it. It's like he has the uppercut
He has
with
the
the
machete.
machete, then he has the down with the machete, then he has the front kick, and it's like when it hits you, you fucking bounce a little bit.
He
You're
has a
like, oh my
ridiculous
God.
amount of power too.
Yeah, he's strong
He's
as fuck. He's a tank.
fast. I love him.
Yeah,
I love him.
and I feel like the Jason that they used in Mortal Kombat. I feel like that's the Jason from the 2019 or
2009.
09 movie. Where it's just like he's just like a behemoth. Like if he front kick you, you're
Yeah.
going through the wall. You know what I
Bro.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man. So Jason's my favorite just because I feel like to be such a basic, I don't want to say basic horror movie franchise, but kind of. It's such a weird franchise.
Well, it has like the benefit, like again, going back to the early days, like you
Yeah.
just get the foundational pieces to be
Yeah.
first, essentially.
Yeah,
You know?
and yeah, dude, just Jason is, I feel like he's just kind of misunderstood. Like if he just wasn't bullied, he wouldn't have been a villain. I think that's why I like Jason a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, he's a fucking tank, and also I think he beats Michael, personally.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, because also again, this
Well,
goes back.
this goes back
Actually,
to
this goes back. This
So which one you prefer and which
yes,
one?
I was
yeah.
gonna just say it depends. If you look at if you want to do the original with 2018, where it's kind of like a normal person, where it's an actual person, he
Yeah.
has like has scars, he's a mental institution now. Or if you do like when it's the first and second one, where he kind of takes shots and he keeps coming and
He's
you
not
know
a
what I-
supernatural being.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends on how you look at it. And
Well, honestly, I think Jason wins both supernatural and non. But it also depends on which one you see. I'm pitting 2009 Jason versus like original Carpenter.
yeah,
We'll do Prime like 2.
Yeah.
Right. I think
And no, and
that
I'm in full
I
agreement,
think that
actually.
Jason beats Michael, but
Yeah.
also when you go to the supernatural aspect, Jason doesn't fucking die, and technically by canon, he's a deadite.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Evil Dead. Damn, you haven't seen Evil Dead.
Mm.
Yeah, because what I love about the 80s franchises is they did little things and little hints. So I don't think you know this. Wow, that's so cool. Evil Dead 2.
Alright.
Sam Raimi paid homage to Wes Craven because Wes Craven also made the original Hills Have Eyes. So he had a Hills Have Eyes poster on the wall in one of the frames of Evil Dead, and then Nightmare on Elm Street came out, and Nancy's watching Evil Dead, and it's a scene from Evil Dead, like a nod, right? And then Evil Dead 2, they have Freddy's glove hanging on the shed. Like it's very visibly Freddy's glove. And then Jason Goes to Hell. I'm pretty sure the Necronomicon, like the Book of the Dead, is actually in it if I remember correctly.
Really?
Yeah. And the director of that was like, I made it canon. So I respect it, even though it's such a weird fucking movie and doesn't work. Because it's like Jason has died. He got like, I like the idea of like the actual SWAT coming to kill Jason. And they literally blow him up. Fucking weird.
Okay.
And he's like,
Like an actual SWAT team.
yeah,
Oh.
actual SWAT team.
I've never seen
They
this.
trap him and then
this
they kill him
Jason.
and they blow him up because they just do like the ridiculous 80s, 90s
Okay.
machine gun, which is right.
Mhm.
And then he turns out to be this little like larva demon thing that will crawl into someone's mouth and possess them.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, but that's also the end where Freddy's hand comes up and grabs Jason Mask to like drag him to hell.
Interesting.
You've never seen
I've
that
never
at
seen
all.
it.
Wow, that's so crazy, man.
So the only Friday the 13th, I've seen the OG one. I've seen the first three. We should do that. I saw the first three. Then I saw, I don't know if they're all in order, but then I saw the Jason in Space, Jason X,
Jason,
and then Jason
kind of a
versus
low key
Freddy.
banger, bro. Honestly.
And then I saw Jason in New York. I think that's what. Is
Dude,
it?
you just reminded me. Jason X, terrifying.
It is terrifying.
That
yes.
thing kills anything.
Yes, it does.
It's crazy.
Well, it was Jason in New York, right? or what is it called?
Jason in Manhattan.
Oh, in Manhattan. I've seen that one, and I didn't finish it because I was like, this is so.
It is.
And I just
Because
didn't
that
watch
was
it
also the
anymore.
time that one wasn't as bloody because for some odd reason that's when like I believe it's the MPAA was like you can't be too violent. So like
Really?
the deaths were very nerfed.
Mm.
But there is one where like this dude like squares up to Jason. He's like a boxer, and he's like fucking throwing like literally emptying his gas tank on him. And Jason's just like standing there, and then one punch and punches his fucking head off into a garbage can. Iconic,
Okay.
iconic.
Maybe that's when I stopped watching.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But yeah, those are the only Friday the 13th movies that I've seen. And how many is there? There's probably like 8, 7,
12.
12. Wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
I've seen all the ones that matter. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Like, there's one where he literally fights. Like, they did everything with this franchise. You have to understand. Carrie came out, and the producers were like, "We need to add a protagonist that has telekinesis." I'm not even joking.
Wow, they made a lot. That's actually
They did a lot with the character. I got to give them props for it too, because like
They milked the shit out of
they
it.
did, man. It is what it is. I gotta respect it, dude. I think that's why they're going through like trouble, like that.
Well,
all
it's
the
had
trouble
rights
going on.
hell for fucking ever. now.
Forever, dude.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get a Friday the 13th movie one day. I also another one I would actually like to see, like a Terrifier versus Jason,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
like a Terrifier versus Freddy, because
I think Terrifier. I think Freddy's a bitch. So I think
you said he's a bitch boy.
I think he's a bitch boy, and I think he
Valid.
wins that.
Valid.
But
You're like
I
I'd be
think he
rooting for
loses
Ark.
to Jason though.
I think so too.
I think Jason is just gonna. I think he would. Honestly, I think he'd sweep the floor with everyone. I really
Yeah.
do.
I don't think he'd beat my boy Ash though.
I can't say anything. I haven't seen the movie.
My boy Ash has one thing that Jason does not:
What?
plot armor.
Mm.
Let's not forget, okay? Plus, also like Scream King. Let's go, bro. That's all I gotta
Let's
say.
go, bro.
That's my guy, Ash Williams, bro. I rewatched Army of Darkness, and I just ordered it too because I love that movie. Best one-liners of all time, bro.
Yeah?
Not even joking. There's one. What is this? He shoots someone because he's like, I don't want to spoil it, but he shoots someone with a.
Yeah, I was
Right.
gonna say I do want to watch these.
He shoots someone, and he's like, good, bad. I'm the guy with a gun, and you're just like, banger, dude. Fucking banger.
All right.
Yeah, man. There's some funny ass moment. There's literally like one of the chicks slaps him and then he chases after her. And then he's just like, give me some sugar. And they start making out. You're like, all right, bro. I'm telling you, iconic. Love it. You need to watch it. It's so good.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. What was I gonna say? I wanted to talk about what our favorite myths / legends are, because I was listening to a lot of podcasts recently and videos on TikTok, and I always get spooky shit at night. I don't like that. Do you? Do you?
No,
Maybe it's just
because
my
I just-
algorithm,
I was
honestly.
gonna. I'm not saying that I haven't had it, but in the past, but my algorithm now is like I try to keep it under control because I'm like I just don't want to see certain shit. I'm like I don't want to be scared, and I don't want to see fucking, things that might irritate me because I'm like I don't know. I also have. I feel like me being on TikTok lately has gone down for sure as well.
Yeah, because you don't watch any of the videos I send you.
I do watch sometimes. When sometimes I'm like, do I want to let the streak end? I don't know. And then I'm like, I should watch.
You do send me videos all the time, though.
I do send you, but like that's usually when I'm at work and it's like break time. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
no, I get.
I don't have
I
time
get
to
where you're
like
coming
watch
from.
like a full retrospective video. But that's also because like I'm in that realm of like making content. So I'm like, okay, what are tips that I can implement to mine? Like what,
Mhm.
I'm very like critical of myself and be like, always going back and checking my work essentially.
We are our own worst critics, for sure. Man.
So
get
that's what
that.
I feel like that's a big part of why my TikTok has gone down, me being on there,
Mhm.
and being on YouTube has risen. Because like I watched like the full I've already watched it before, but I watched the full retrospective of Silent Hill.
Mhm.
Because the first time I watched it, I was like, I'm never gonna play these games. I was like, they're beyond expensive. I'm never gonna play them. So I just didn't do it.
Yeah, because they were only available for old gen systems.
Yeah, it was like
right?
PlayStation 1 if you want to play the OG one, and then PlayStation 2 if you want to play.
And how much would they go for?
Dude, if you wanted Silent Hill 2 on the PS2 was like minimum, if you got lucky, like $190 minimum. $190,
You're
and you might not even
joking.
get like a good copy. It might be like, water damage or something like that, but the disc works
That's
fine.
crazy.
Dude, it goes
Thank
for
God for the fucking remake then.
yeah,
huh?
dude, the remake was awesome. But that's the reason why I watched that. And I rewatched it because I just played Silent Hill remake. I don't know how I went on this whole tangent, but I did.
Silent Hill, dude. I mean, you have been talking about it, and I've been wanting to look up more on like the lore because
Well, I
even
did
though I
send
may
you
not,
the video
yeah,
a long time ago when I very first watched
I remember
it.
watching the bit you told me to watch, and I remember liking it. But it's also been so long, and
Mhm.
then like the thing that you sent me that for has like completely changed from what it was then. And it's just the whole fucking process. Don't even remind me. But yeah, dude, but I did like what you sent me, and I've seen, and I like that type of horror that where it's
Well,
like
mainly atmosphere.
yeah, atmosphere, but also those like really weird creatures that don't really look like
Like they're
some.
sewed together, and
But they're yeah, but it's also like not from this world, but like not from like hell. Like it's not like like demon horns or anything. It's just this type of weird being that is creepy that we can't
well, it's
really
a
comprehend.
manifestation of James's subconscious, like his own.
Don't spoil it for me.
Well, no, I'm telling you what Silent Hill is. Silent Hill is, and in Silent Hill, anything is essentially possible. All right. Yes, anything is essentially possible.
Like
So everyone's
like
okay.
anything?
You don't need to get fucking go down your weird dark fantasy here. All right. Let's keep
Me?
it- yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyways, when we Silent Hill, basically anything can be possible, and that I'll spoil a little bit, but essentially, like, there's multiple endings to every single game, and one of the ongoing themes is that there's a UFO ending. Like, if you beat the game like twice, you find this gem, you go to certain parts of the map, and you like showed it to the sky. So you can get a UFO ending, which is essentially just it's not the canon ending, but it's essentially like the aliens will show up and it's like a still frame, like it's shot in like the 1940s. Where it's like show picture, then it'll show like text, picture, text, and it'll be like you know so essentially in the remake, what happens is that when you get the UFO ending, the PS2 James comes down and is like, "You've been a clone this whole time," and he's like, "I'm a clone," and he's like, "Yes, now you are coming back to be processed and stripped for your data or whatever," and he gets taken up into the ship, and that's how the UFO ending happens. Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying is that
That's actually crazy.
anything can happen in Silent Hill.
But
And
like
essentially
not in
what
a
I'm
fun
saying-
way.
And
That
essentially what I'm
sucks.
saying is when it comes to those creatures, that's like James's subconscious, like his own guilt. That's what they're manifested from. And it's implied when you meet other characters in the game, like Angela, which is you'll meet weird characters and everything. Everyone talks like they're in a dream. Like no one really makes sense. No one's questioning why they're here. They're not questioning why there's zombies, but not everyone runs into the zombies or what James has run into. And there's a part where you meet her and everything's on fire and he's like, "It's hot in here," and she's like, "Oh, you see it too." But that's not how he sees Silent Hill. He sees Silent Hill as this rotting, decrepit, gross,
Like
mildewy
Okay.
goo shit, and you feel like you need a tetanus shot just from playing the game. Like it's
You feel like that with just by looking at it.
exactly,
honestly.
and that's why I really like Silent Hill, and I'm happy they made a remake
Because
because I actually got to experience. Because I was like, my whole thing was like, I'm never gonna play the PS2 game. I was like, it's not gonna happen. It's too expensive. I'll watch a retrospective on it. I'll be fine with that. And once I got a remake, I was like, I'm buying that, and I'm playing it, and I'm gonna be scared. Well, because I think when it comes to like a horror video game, it does a really good job when you want it to be over. You're like, okay, I've had my fun. Why are we keep doing this? Can this be over in a good way, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm
okay.
ready to get out of this nightmare, literally.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I imagine that's probably what it was like playing Alien Isolation too.
Oh, yeah, it was. You're just like, dude, can you just not?
You're like, please. Can
I
just...
still think that in terms of like just gameplay, that is my favorite horror game. It is so good, dude.
Yeah.
It is so
Oh
good.
wow,
Yes.
that's ballsy.
Well, like I said, in terms of gameplay, like just the moment to moment, fire. The story is like it fills in some lore, but gameplay, fire. Because like I think when it comes to like good horror games, it can be tough because you're getting someone to disband their belief. Like you don't want to ever play a game and be like, I'm I'm playing a horror game. Like, this is what I'm playing.
Yeah.
You want to be in it and be like, oh my God, I'm low on ammo. I got to fucking
Yeah.
run. Like, you don't want to be like, dude, this enemy is just
Yeah.
annoying, bro.
Yeah.
Can you die already?
Yeah, like you. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You don't want it to go that. You want to have it like that perfect balance of being difficult, but also being like where it's not no longer an annoyance to where you're like, dude, these guys again. Like, you don't want that. You don't want that feeling. You would want it to be like, oh my God, it's that fucking thing again. You're fucking sprinting
Like,
down
I
the
gotta
hallway,
fucking go.
and it's dark as shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, now the fucking room is switched around because you're in the other world, and you're like, this isn't the way I remember it. And now there's a fucking weird nurse in front of you,
Fucking
and now
terrifying.
she's ripping your neck off. Like, that's what you want.
Fucking terrifying, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think you could survive Silent Hill?
Well, again, it goes back to
What do you think you would manifest Silent Hill as?
I feel like mine would be like, I don't even know, but I feel like mine would be more cold. Be like cold and just like
Desolate?
desolate
Like,
and
not
like
a lot, like-
very quiet. Cause like I'm very like I don't like claustrophobic areas, so I feel like mine would be like a lot of like you have to like go through events and just some. I also don't think mine would be a town. I think mine would be a cave.
Mine would be high school.
You do go through a school in the game,
That's my Silent Hill, dog.
but yeah, it was a great game. I enjoyed it.
That's cool,
thoroughly.
man. I definitely want to.
I definitely want to watch the movie now too, or the movie I should say, the first.
Yeah,
one.
everyone just says watch the first one, but also like, I don't know. What if we kind of think the second one's a guilty pleasure?
Mm.
Like I can't wait to see your reaction. I rewatched Snake Eyes.
Oh God!
No,
Don't say it.
I'm not saying it's good,
Okay.
but I'm also like,
One of the worst movies I've ever
there
seen.
was an idea, and
To get a part of a remarkable people together.
yeah, and, dude, it's just like, man, there's just bits and pieces of that movie that you're like, this could have been so good.
Well, I like Storm Shadow. I think he was the best part.
Oh,
of the
dude,
movie.
I rewatched that and I'm just like, he's literally.
I don't
still
know how
the
you can put
best
yourself
part.
through rewatching that. I'd like.
Okay,
that sounds like
that's
hell.
too heavy.
That's actually my Silent Hill. Would be in a movie theater rewatching that fucking movie for the first time. That thing was awful, dude.
Fuck, dude, that is so funny. You're like, that's my.
That's actually that's my hell, dude.
You're like, I change it. It's
Dude,
that.
I remember when we watched it, we started cracking jokes a little bit. We're like,
Yeah.
dude, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean?
Dude,
And I remember being uncomfortable, and I was like, oh my God, bro, I'm just ready to leave.
Dude, also, I just remember our other friend that we were with just leaning next to me as soon as the first fight scene started, because he gets so dizzy and with shaky cam, and as soon as it started, he literally leans up. I'm already getting dizzy. He's like, I have to close my eyes, and I'm just like, damn, bro.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of shaky cam to begin with, and that movie just fucking used it to the extreme, dude.
And it sucks because you had very cool, capable people that could have done amazing stunts.
Yeah.
They
Well,
got the dude from the raid, and they
Yeah.
wasted him.
I think it's bad when if you go back to like the OG fucking G.I. Joe and you watch when Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow first fight in the hallway, that is so much better. So much better. They're like cracking through the wood
Yeah.
and it's springing and flying everywhere. It's so much cooler.
G.I. Joe Retaliation? The one with The Rock, right?
No, I never watched that one.
Oh.
I'm pretty unless the scene that I'm talking about is just like a fight scene.
I think you just watched the fight scene.
I think that was in the first movie. I swear to God, it was.
What was the scene?
They're like on a mountain or something. And
Second one.
Okay. All right. I guess the second one. I watched
Yeah.
just the fight scene apparently.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I might have actually shown it to you.
Maybe
you know
did.
how you know
Well,
how
I
you know
don't-
how I
that's
am. I'll
okay,
just be like, dude, watch this fight scene.
But even if you go back to a movie like that's older and you watch it and it has a better fight scene, I'm like, dude, you can't do that. You can at least do that. Just recreate that.
That's why a lot of my favorite action stars tend to do their own stunts, like Jason Statham, Jet Li,
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Exactly. Like, he may be a Scientologist, but you got to give him credit for that.
I love his movies.
Yeah.
Although I never saw Top Gun Maverick, unfortunately.
I haven't even seen the original.
Either have I.
So-
Which is crazy because I've seen a lot of Tom Cruise's movies, even the bad ones.
Yeah, dude. I've seen that rant in Pulp Fiction where Quentin Tarantino is talking about how Top Gun is actually a love story. which is insane. Have you seen Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, once a long time ago.
Wow, that movie. Honestly, that's a movie I think.
feel like it's a little overrated, but again, I'll rewatch it.
I think when you rewatch it, you will understand why it's overrated and always talked about and just all this other shit. Because like,
well, when it goes to
it's
Quentin
so
Tarantino, though, it's like
good.
my personal one I will always go to is Kill Bill. That's the one I will always go to and be like,
Reservoir Dogs is so good too, though. You haven't seen that.
I have not seen that one. No,
That one's good.
I've seen a lot of his movies. I've even seen the one where the dude was a fucking killing people with the car. I've seen a lot of his
Actually,
movies.
haven't seen that one.
Really?
I've only seen the scene
Oh,
where like he gets a lap dance.
I only saw it once, and it was so long ago. I mean, but yeah. Anyways, I don't know how he always brings it to Quentin Tarantino somehow.
Me?
Yeah,
Quentin Tarantino or Christopher Nolan?
it's Christopher Nolan. If I had to choose, I'm going Christopher Nolan. Dude, I'm actually
don't
so happy
know.
that Christopher Nolan cast
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland,
His
because
new
I'm like,
movie?
bro, he's gonna make him. I think he's really
be a
gonna
vampire
bring.
movie.
He's gonna bring it to life, like his actual skills. You know what I mean? Because I feel like Tom's career so far has just been like, I mean, other than Spider-Man, you can like what you like about Spider-Man, you know, and
See,
not
but
what you
also like,
about it, but,
what's cool is like he seems to understand is like, dude, that'd be cool if Spider-Man is just the only thing I'm known for. But like he's such a talented actor that you just want to see him
I think he
succeed.
could do more. I just
And
think
also, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
Yeah.
like my biggest thing, also in my opinion, I just don't think we've seen the best of him from Spider-Man because I think he's been nerfed. I think that in No Way Home, like I've seen Tom Holland hit pads. Bro got hands. I'm like a fan. I've seen it clean. As soon as I saw that, I got irritated that the last Spider-Man movies, other than probably No Way Home, that they didn't take advantage of his physicality on top of his acting ability. Because he could do it, dude.
Yeah.
He could do it. And also, I like my favorite bits of No Way Home are when he's throwing hands with Green Goblin.
Mhm.
Those to me are the best. I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
Even if like he never like, I'd love to see him in another action movie, just like an action comedy. I think he'd do so good. I think he's a really underrated dramatic actor as well.
Mhm.
So it's just like I just want this dude to
I just
succeed.
feel like
I like
he's
him.
just I don't know if it's his fault or the agent's fault or even like
Projects.
the directors, like the
It could be the
project-
projects that
Yeah.
his team's telling him to take.
I just feel like they've never really like been what he should be doing, if that makes sense. Like I think him being attached to someone like Christopher Nolan
Is
that
a good
he
step in the right
always-
direction.
Christopher, if you don't know, Christopher Nolan's my favorite director, and I feel like he brings the best out of actors and knows how to put them in the best situation possible for them, bringing to light their strengths and even highlighting their weaknesses and making them stronger. I think
Yeah,
so.
Christopher Nolan is a really strong director that can get strong performances from his
Mhm.
actors. And it's just his ability and credit as definitely one of this generation's best directors for a reason. When your name comes up before in the trailer to what you're presenting, you know you're fucking up there, bro.
Yeah.
And he's been up there since Dark Knight. I mean, dude, he literally single-handedly saved Batman. I know I always give him shit just because you do, like, rightfully so. Christopher Nolan's a phenomenal director
Yeah,
and a phenomenal just like artist in general.
yeah.
If you know,
I
when
mean,
you
would
hear
you
him
be mad
speak-
if I had someone else like as my favorite director? Like
no,
fucking
not at all. I feel like I know what you're gonna say, and don't you dare fucking say it.
who?
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it, but then I forgot his name. It's the dude that made Transformers.
Oh, Michael Bay.
Yeah, Michael Bay.
Michael
I was
Bay.
gonna say one of my favorite directors was Michael Bay, and I
Yeah.
always stuck up for him. That would have get you annoying, wouldn't it?
I mean, okay, artist. I'm not like you. I do think art is subjective.
No, I do think
You know.
art is subjective. I do.
You look offended. You're
I
like,
am a little
actually,
offended. I always think it's subjective.
You know, so like, if someone said that, I would just immediately think they probably liked a lot of his earlier stuff. I haven't seen The Rock, but I heard it's good with Nicolas Cage. Bad Boys 1 and 2, fucking bangers,
Fire.
bangers.
They are good.
Can't think of.
I mean, I would argue the first Transformers is a masterpiece in terms of what it was set out to accomplish. You know, within that confines of that universe, I think it's a masterpiece.
I forget what else fucking Michael Bay's done. I actually really did like 13 Hours.
Oh, 13 Hours was good.
13
yeah.
Hours was
that was
good.
good actually. It was
13
yeah, it
Hours
was.
was really good. I haven't seen that new one with Jake Gyllenhaal and that other dude where they're in an ambulance.
I never saw that one either.
That looked good though.
Yeah.
See, that's Michael Bay when you let him be Michael Bay. I know some people didn't like Six Underground, but from what I saw, I kind of enjoyed it.
I didn't see that.
But whatever. Yeah, man. It just depends on what your taste is. But I also know, like, we have a lot of the similar taste when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
So again,
Thank God.
Christopher Nolan is definitely one of this generation's goats.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, Oppenheimer is still like
So good.
so fucking good. A movie about the life of the dude that made the atom bomb, where it's majority of it is dialogue. On paper shouldn't work. I think any other director might have fumbled that shit, bro.
Yes.
But he made that shit work.
Well, dude, I was even on that boat. This is my favorite director. I was like, you're doing an autobiography? I was like, why?
Yeah.
And I was like, why did I question you? Never mind. Anything you do, I will never question you again. My bad, bro.
You're like, do whatever you want.
Yeah. I was
Okay,
like,
I get
my
it.
bad.
God. All right.
I was like,
learned my
why did I
lesson.
doubt you? I was like, no. Yeah, I felt like an asshole.
Yeah, dude. That's what tends to happen. That's also actually kind of how I felt about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was like, Quentin, you're doing a fucking comedy. Like, yeah, you're funny, but like, you're good at the fucking violence.
Mhm.
But it worked so well, and I got a little bit of that Quentin Tarantino violence at the end,
Yeah.
which was
Well, I
great.
mean, when it comes to like Quentin, I think my only gripe, and we've talked about it before, it's
is it
just
the
like
feet?
no, I don't
okay.
mind the feet at all. I think it's just
Oh,
a
you
funny
don't mind it?
gag
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
That's more how I see it, at least. Like it's just like him being like in tune with like what's the meta essentially. Like
Yeah,
this is what people say about it. Well, I'm gonna give them exactly what they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
more feet.
But my thing is more like just this whole notion of being like, I only have to do 10 movies and they have to all be masterpieces and they all have to be. That's what I'm like, dude.
I don't know if he said masterpieces. I think
Well,
he said
I'm just saying like how
that's how you view it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't say all his movies are masterpieces, but like, Wolf of Wall Street, masterpiece in my opinion. I fucking really love
He didn't
Once
do
Upon
Wolf
a
of Wall
Time.
Street.
Wait, what? I mean, not Wolf of Wall Street.
Martin Scorsese.
No,
did.
not. I was thinking of the one you were just talking about.
Once Upon a Time in
Once Upon a
Hollywood.
Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
I was just thinking about that. I don't know why I thought about.
I got confused for a second.
I don't know why. I don't know
I was
why I
like,
thought of
huh.
fucking Wolf of Wall Street all of a sudden.
I mean, Martin Scorsese is definitely one
Yes,
of the
but I
goats.
was thinking of Once Upon a Time and
Hollywood?
Pulp Fiction, like Kill Bill, like those type of movies. Like to me, they're just those ones I consider masterpieces. So
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like if you look at a director and they have more than 3 movies that I personally consider masterpieces, they're just like on another level.
I agree. And there is a thing because he did completely throw out this script that he was recently working on, if I remember correctly.
That's what I was just arguing about.
Yeah, like I mean, you are right. Like putting that much amount of pressure on yourself, like. But he
That's
also
the only thing I don't
but,
like about him.
but he did say 10 movies that he wrote and directed.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of made it seem like I would be willing to direct a script, but I'm not counting that as my catalog. Which I hope would be the case because, like, I mean, on the topic of Martin Scorsese, that's another one of the goated directors that still a little older, past his generation. He's still putting out fucking bangers. I haven't seen The Irishman. I heard it was good. If it just depends what you're into. I
think
guess.
I'll like it.
I think
still
I
haven't
would
watched
like
but
it
I
too.
think I would like it. It
But,
seems like a movie I would enjoy.
Martin Scorsese hasn't had a miss in my opinion. I haven't seen the one that's on Apple TV, but I'm not gonna get fucking Apple TV.
Yeah, no,
That's too much fucking work. No. So I'll just stick to the classics. That man has an amazing catalog too. But what I'm saying is like what I'm trying to get at. He's still making films even though he's past his prime, quote unquote prime. But I would like to see Quentin do that because in my heart of hearts, I don't think that he could leave the movie industry like that. I think he has too much love for it. If that's one thing I love about Quentin, Christopher Nolan, Martin Scorsese, when you listen to them speak about their projects, you hear the passion and the love behind the story they want to tell. There's a lot of enthusiasm on wanting to show the audience this amazing world that they've created for us, whether it's like gratuitously violent or sad or makes us ponder on what the meaning of life, right? That's what a lot of these great directors have, and I do agree. I don't want to live in a world where there isn't a Quentin Tarantino movie coming out. Just like I wouldn't want to live in a world where Christopher Nolan doesn't put out a new movie, or Martin Scorsese, or any of the other goats. But I want them to do it until they die. I want them to
Do it until they're 80.
I want them to die on their last movie, and another director have to come in and finish the project. That's what I want. That's just what I think.
But anyway, I don't know how we went on this. Oh, but that just goes back to me being like my only gripe with Tarantino is that like if you had wrote this script and you're like, this is what's gonna be, and then you kind of backtrack because you're like, that can't be my last film. To me, then
that says a lot that you're nervous.
Exactly. I was like, well, if you put this much effort in there, obviously you saw something there. The only thing that stopped you from doing it was the fact that you put this own limit on yourself of 10 movies. That's the only thing that stopped you, and that's the only thing that bugs me.
I think if he came out
because then it's like, well, like let's just say if he did make it, like he went fully through it, and let's just say it was his best movie, and then he's like, you know what, I'm not done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Then you'd be like,
he's like in the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not fucking leaving.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what
I want that for Quentin so bad, bro. And no, I don't think anyone would be mad.
No,
if he was like, you know what, I'm talking a bunch of bullshit.
That goes back to exactly what I was just saying. Is that the only one putting limitations is himself. That's the only one putting in it. Because everyone else will be like, you want to do 3 more
not
movies,
disagreeing.
actually?
I'm not disagreeing. I think the man could do any project that he wants to do. Yeah, man. I'm all for it. Like, again, I don't want to live in a world where there's no more Quentin Tarantino movies coming out.
I agree.
That's just not on this earth, not on this planet. You know? I think it's time that we talk about the elephant in the room. I think you know what I was going to talk about. UFC 308 has just wrapped up. Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria, the main event. Co-main, Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. And then I know why you're cringing.
Yeah, it was bad.
Fucking same. We're going to get into it. I need to start off with a little bit of a rant. I work nights. Okay? This shit is dumb because the prelims started at 7. I get off at 6:30. Okay. Fine. What sucks is this is a stacked card and I didn't get to enjoy the goddamn prelims because I was like, I need some sleep.
Prelims were fire, by the way. I was like, man, I knew he was asleep. I was like, bro, this fight,
I know.
War.
He was like, texting me as I was asleep because I woke up and I saw the texts.
I was like, dude, this fight was a war. I was like, well, because it was on ESPN on YouTube. They live stream, so you could go back and watch that actually for free.
I think I'm going to.
Dude, they were just swinging leather out. Dude, this dude's eye was closed. And they're like, how many fingers? And he's showing it to the other eye, the eye that's not bothered. He's like, 2. He's like, he's good to go. I was like, yes! And they just throwing leather, bro. It was sick.
Man.
It was a war. It was like out of nowhere.
But still, I should not have to stay up after my fucking shift. First of all, I can honestly say I love combat sports. But the cards, there have been like maybe 5 so far this year that I think have been bangers. That doesn't make any sense.
This is the best card of the year. In terms of stacked, it was best card.
Really? I still
think
think 300.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
300,
Never mind. My
300
bad.
or,
It did happen
or
this year.
298.
It feels like it just happened a long time ago. I don't know why. It did happen.
It felt,
You're right.
you know.
You're right.
Yeah, that's just me personally.
Well, one of the most stacked cards, top 3 at least.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like I can count on one hand. I'm pretty sure how many stacked cards that we were like, we have to see this card.
Mm-hmm.
But still, man, it's just, why do I have to stay up after work? It's ridiculous. Saudi time.
I 100% agree with you, bro.
It's fucking hate it. Just please bring fire cards to the U.S. in just normal time, please.
Well, and it's not just that, but it's like always when they go to Saudi Arabia, it's always a good card, like always, and it's just like, bro, what the? It's just like, what the fuck? Why
I feel
are you
like that crack addict in the Dave Chappelle skit where he's like, you got some more crack, but I'm like, you got some more cards, like good cards for the no, apparently none for the U.S., dude.
They're like, we're gonna put Alex on there and then one other name and that's it. We're relying on that. You know what I mean? Like
dude.
that's like the vibe that we've gotten for the UFC.
Yeah.
Anyways,
should we just talk about?
Yeah, we should talk about. Did you do the co-main?
Co-main?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, dude. Khamzat. I honestly thought that he was gonna lose. His vibe and his aura was. I know.
It was
I'm
off.
not some sort of body expert. I'm gonna pretend to be though. But you felt like it was off too.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
he was just like, he looked like some fucking librarian, you know, just with his glasses and his turtleneck, and he's just like, Yes, brother.
He
Yes.
is. He is. He is.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But see, and a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, yes, he's had a kid now," and I
He
can,
did?
yeah, he had a kid now, and they're
Oh.
like, "This is why he's changed," and I was like, "I can see that because he changed after he had a kid," so I was like, "I get it, I get it." But when it comes to fighting, though, it can be a certain because, like you said, you need like that
Killer instinct.
not just like yeah, you need that killer instinct, but like that momentum, and like I feel like he was someone where it's like you kind of fear him a little bit. You're like, oh man, if I get in a fight with him, that's a scrap. Like it's gonna be he's giving it his all.
Tough.
He's trying to get you
Yep.
out of the first round. He doesn't want to go to the second round. He wants to get back home to his kid. Like that's the type of vibe you get from him, and like you said, going into it, like the whole press conference and everything, you just felt like it was a little off. So you're like, okay, this might be a slower paced fight.
Yeah.
No, he just went straight for it.
Dude, when that man shoots, it just feels like a guaranteed takedown.
Yeah.
It's insane. I haven't seen someone with like this. Islam, obviously.
But he makes Khabib look like a nobody.
Dude,
Like just the way that he's able to get a
it's
takedown.
scared. Bro, can we just talk about how he literally broke this man's jaw?
Fast too. I mean,
That's fucking insane. And everyone was like, oh, I think some people were quick to be like, oh, he quit immediately. It's like, no. He
Well,
heard
yeah.
a pop.
yeah.
He felt the pop and was like,
Well,
I
'cause you
just
could
can't
see
imagine that
even
happening
when they
to
did
the Reaper.
replay, you could see his jaw being like pulled into it. Like it just looked bad. Like it just didn't look like a right angle. And even when I watched it live, I was like, something happened. I was like, there's just no, because he tapped instantly. I was like, there's just no way. Because I thought it was going to be like a scramble. You know, he's going to have no arm in. He's going to try to survive, and they're going to go second round. That's what I thought the whole time.
Tale now as old as time. You give up your back to the fucking grappler and then just, the rear naked or something. No, I get it, dude. Or like a neck crank. Because,
Well,
Dustin
they
got
can
caught with the
they
neck
can
crank
be
too.
painful, bro. They fucking
That's almost
suck.
that's almost as worse, like worse. I feel like arguably worse than getting choked out because at least you're like losing breath and you know what that's like, right? But the fucking pain that you feel with your neck being cranked or your chin
Well,
being
dude, I've
pushed
had my
back.
face like cranked before, and what it feels like, at least for me, it felt like my eyes were gonna pop out.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it felt bad, and I still didn't tap. I was like, I'm not tapping. I was like, I'm not tapping. And
Like,
they
I
gave up
just had
because I
to
was like,
ask.
my skull is stronger. I didn't know
Well,
it is.
it's also, yeah, dude. To be
But-
fair, it's just not the good.
But see, that's the thing though, is that this was when I got it. It was around my skull, so it was a little different. Versus when it's your jaw, it's only
Jesus
pinned
Christ.
from fucking right here. You
I'm
know
just
what I mean? It's
thinking about
different.
the photo, and I'm just like,
It was bad. Yeah.
oh, dude, I feel so bad for Robert Whitaker too, because
Mhm.
I'm just like, all of my picks lost.
Yeah, all of my favorite fighter. I mean, they just lost. Yeah.
Just really disappointing. The highest highs and the lowest lows. Loving the
Mhm.
sport, truly. But like, you
Dude.
know what's cool? Like in some weird way, when you're a fan, even though one of your fighters loses, you still have a lot of respect for the opponent because you're like, damn, bro, my dude ain't no chump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like he ain't no chump. He's a bad motherfucker, and you definitely proved to be the winner. Obviously,
Mhm.
and it's very impressive. I'm shutting the fuck up. Give him
Mhm.
the title shot after Strickland. Honestly, might as
He
well.
might go above Strickland, to be honest. I would rather see that.
I
the
think-
thing is with Strickland, to me, that kind of irritates me. This is just me as well, but like, just this whole like
Persona
I
of
wanna
violence,
fight. Yes,
and
and,
then
then
there's
he goes out there to
nothing.
teep. I'm
Deep,
like, bro.
jab.
I'm like, bro. That
Doesn't
Paulo
throw
Costa
down to
fight,
like the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. That Paulo Costa fight could have been a banger, and it just wasn't. It just was. I'm gonna teep you. I'm gonna leg kick you. I'm gonna jab you.
Oh my
And also
god!
his-
You know what it was?
What?
I feel like it was just a slightly better version of Yoel versus Stylebender.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I totally agree. But see, also, I think it's just like this
That's not saying a
whole
lot,
thing,
though.
This whole thing of like, I don't need the belt. I don't need the belt. And then now he's like, I want the belt. It's like, well, that was like part of your whole thing.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
why
Like,
people liked you. You're
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I get
Now
what you're saying.
Like, I want to fucking have the belt. And it's like, I'm only gonna fight for the belt. It's like, well, then you're that's not who you were then. I don't know. Anyways, slight Strickland rant.
I mean, I can't argue against that. Those are very valid criticisms. I definitely feel the same way. I still think Duplessis is gonna win though. Honestly,
Against who?
against Strickland, because it already got announced for like January.
Mm.
I do think Hamzat deserves the title shot.
Yeah.
Let him come over to the U.S. or
Better fucking
wherever.
make weight. You better fucking make weight. Honestly, I think they should get a backup for that fight as well.
For Kamzat and Duplessis or Strickland?
Yeah, no, for either one, honestly. But anyone that Kamzat is attached to, they should have an automatic backup.
I think they do. I think they do. I think they've
I
learned
would
their
hope
lesson.
they do.
I
Because
think,
he's had too many issues when it comes to cutting weight.
yeah, dude, it's been, yeah, I don't even have anything to say, dude, because it's hard to say that there wasn't any time bought for him when it feels that way, especially being overseas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man, but it definitely doesn't look good.
Yeah,
and it's not good. And if you want to be, because it's also like, dude, if it's so fucking hard for you to make middleweight too, just there's no harm in going into light heavyweight. Why not just test yourself there? If it's like actually impeding on your health and your performance, this is why a part of me didn't like Max coming back down to 145. Did you remember when he beat Justin Gaethje? I remember vividly telling you, I don't like the idea of him going back down. But I did say I just doubted him. Made literally after we witnessed one of the most iconic UFC moments of all time. So anytime I've slightly doubted Max, he's come out on top. So anything he wants. But man, it's just, if it's not healthy for you, go up.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's it.
But also when it comes to Hamza, I just feel like, are you fully doing it the correct way? I feel like.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Because he was in a lower weight class than what he was just at. And you know what I mean? Like, you would think it should be easier. You know, that's why I'm like, are you doing it correctly? Are you timing it out properly? Like, that's the only thing I would question, honestly.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're not wrong. It's just...
So we're just getting the main event with the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
My boy got knocked the fuck out.
Oh.
He got knocked the fuck out. Yeah, he had a great game plan, I will say.
Yeah.
Going fucking, the teep, the oblique kick.
Some of those oblique kicks look like they were bothering Ilya.
It looked like they hurt.
Which is good.
Also, I think part of Toporia's... Also, I want to praise myself a little bit. Our fucking video of top 10 strikers in the UFC a couple months ago aged very well. I had Ilya literally one notch below Max. I'm just saying, I want to highlight.
Mine did not.
Yeah, he did not. He had Max's number one. I just want to have my back.
Not. I can admit that recency bias was a huge thing, and honestly, I didn't see it go this way.
I did talk about in that one. Ilya's became like one of my favorite fighters. It's just that I liked Max more. I was like, I went back and watched all of Ilya's fights. I was like, dude, this dude's a beast. This fight's gonna be great.
Yeah, dude.
And I just wanted Max to win more. That's all it was. I'm not even mad that Ilya won. I just wanted Max to win more. And I think he had a pretty good game plan, but I think Ilya really laid in the fucking leg kick to his inner leg and made him switch southpaw. And I think he wanted that because as soon as he did, within that round, he landed a fucking straight right hand on the bridge of the nose. And prior to that point, he was throwing a lot of more hooks than he was doing straights.
Yeah.
And I think he wanted that from Max. I think he wanted to go southpaw because we all know Max can fight from both, but he's definitely 100% better in orthodox than he is southpaw. But he could do southpaw. And I think he wanted that and exploited that, caught him. And then after that, Max, I just think he just didn't get his bearings. Like, I don't think he thought he was as rocked as he was. Because as soon as I saw him throw the knee, I was like, you should have thrown the knee. You should have just pivoted out and then rotate. But he went for the knee, and then he immediately got cocked with a left hook, and then he was down. As soon as I saw his knee come up, I was like, you shouldn't have done that. Your equilibrium is off, bro.
Yeah.
And I think that it has to do with a little bit of, like, he's never been that hurt before, I think. Because, like, he's been stunned, but he's never been like, oh, my God, he's going to go out. Like, it's the whole time I was like, I was like literally like, He's like, dude, I know his power.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I was like literally flinching, bro. My heart was pounding. I mean, it was entertaining. I did think Ilya won all the rounds though. Just barely.
Yeah. I can agree. Those were very close competitive rounds. If there's an argument to be made for like a 10, 9.5, you know what I'm saying? Like that'd be a very accurate depiction of how the rounds went up until the big hook. I'm just not okay, honestly, because that fucking sucks, dude. Because when someone's chin is cracked like that, man,
Now he didn't get slapped as bad as Volk did, though.
I'm afraid and excited for the bounce back, because Max is one of those fighters. Mr. Bounce Back, you know, like Dustin, you know, these types of blood and guts warriors, the Gaethjes, you know, and it does make it more interesting for his next fight. I hope he stays at lightweight. I think that's the best thing for him.
Yeah.
And to Ilya,
I think he's gonna rule. I really do. I don't think anyone's beating.
do you know
him
how
at that.
badly he hurt me, dude? I was like, for a brief second, I was like, I can't let you do that. I can't let that slide. It's my turn. It's my turn. Stop ducking me,
Dude? Like, so here's the thing.
You know
right?
what I'm saying?
It's like,
Like-
when certain things like this happen, there's like a point where I'm like, am I too invested? Because it
hurts your soul,
It hurts
bro.
so bad. I'm like, am I
Yeah.
too invested? I'm like, no, I'm just a great fan.
Yeah,
My bad.
dude.
It
It's
sucks, dude.
it's so different being a combat sports, like a diehard combat sports fan, because again, like the highest highs and the lowest lows.
Dude, I mean, perfect. Max is the best example of that, coming off of UFC 300, and then now this, you're just like, dude. And also, is the BMF
Dustin.
cursed, bro?
And Dustin too, remember?
Yeah, and Dustin.
'Cause
But
Dustin
dude, is BMF
won-
cursed? Every winner has gotten knocked out. Is it cursed, bro?
But also, the Jorge one, he didn't get knocked out until the rematch.
No, what I'm
So
saying
it
is,
was like one.
but everyone that has won it from this point has gotten brutally knocked out. Yes or no?
Yeah, but also everyone.
Yes or no?
Oh, hold on. Yes, hold on. But everyone that's won it has also lost before.
True, but it's the knockout part that I'm focusing on here.
I know.
That's
but-
where I'm like, is it kind of cursed?
See, okay, hear me out too. It could be, but also in my mind, I
Because
think,
the Madden curse is a real thing.
huh?
Okay, so on every cover of Madden NFL, anyone that's on that cover, well, something bad will just happen. I
Isn't it like the UFC cover too?
think it is actually,
Yeah.
yeah, because fucking Alessandria and Jorge were on that one. They both lost.
Yeah.
Volk was on this one and he lost, and then Shevchenko, I believe, is on UFC 5.
Yeah.
She lost.
Yeah.
And she just won her belt back, but she did lose. So it's like,
These curses, bro.
is it EA games? I have no idea. Maybe.
What the twist?
What a twist.
Yeah, man. It sucks. It sucks seeing one of your favorite fighters go down like that.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things about being a bad motherfucker and being eligible about him is that you're willing to go down on your shield.
Mhm.
Because, like I said, we know these fighters that have fought for the BMF are fucking do or die, bro. Like, let's not forget Diaz was in there, bro. Like, he's definitely one of those do or die fighters, dude. These are just a different type of breed. That the B for BMF I think stands for like bounce back, honestly, because like they always come back.
Yeah.
They're just bad motherfuckers, bro, and they earn that shit. And these are always gonna be more like casual, friendly fights.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yes. Like anyone, you could jump in and be like, oh, I've seen that guy before.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be a war. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's marketed that way, and everyone sees it that way as well. So
Just the way we should see it, honestly.
because you
Ilya's
don't
so
want
good.
you don't want like Khabib coming back for a BMF. You're like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Also, Khabib is not the GOAT. Ilya is already more of a GOAT than he is.
That's an interesting take.
Is he not? Look at the names he's beat to get where he is now. He's already more of a GOAT. Max is already more of a GOAT. You know, he's just irrelevant.
I was like, I haven't even brought. Do you see how he did it to himself this time? I swear he told me the other day that he knew Khabib was the GOAT and he couldn't deny it.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I remember
hate
that so
Khabib.
vividly.
Anyways,
Islam better?
yeah, he is better for sure. Better
Yeah.
boxing, better on stand up. I think he has a different takedown style, but I think I think Islam is just better.
How do you think
overall.
Ilya versus Islam would go?
That's actually a great fight. I just don't think it would happen just because I don't think Islam would be like. I feel like he'd be like, you haven't cleared the division like how I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, I think Ilya is gonna rule. I do think, but you still got like Diego Lopez, and he.
You want to see that Lopez fight?
I do want to
huh?
see Lopez. I like Lopez a lot, and I think Lopez would lose, and yeah, I think he would actually.
To Ilya?
Yeah, I think Ilya would beat the shit out of him
Strike-
actually.
striker,
But I think it would be a
clean striker.
war. I think it would be good, but I think overall he would succumb to
The
just
scrambles
power.
would be insane too.
Yeah, I think the power is just the big difference in that weight class.
Well-
Because it's like, who else has that power? Him and Josh Emmett. Yeah. That's it.
Ilya does have power too, but I think the thing that makes him more dangerous.
He can go anywhere.
Yeah.
He's a black belt.
Oh, yeah. Not just that, but I think the IQ he has, he is so precise, and like he threw some mean body shots that I heard when he was fighting Max, bro. You remember that? He threw like a left hook to the body. I fucking heard that shit, dude. I was just like, he's so precise and smart, and he's the perfect, like the type of fighter that just gathers the like high IQ. Yeah. You know, he's so good.
And I think that's a big part of why I think he's going to rule. I mean, do you not think he's going to rule? Because I'm sorry. I do not want to see him fight Volk. I don't. Volk's coming off of 2 bad knockouts. He needs somewhat of a bounce back before just going in the highest level of degree of difficulty. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... I'm not even the biggest Volk fan, but I'm like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think he's going to get slept again if they fight again.
Well... Ilya hasn't fought me, okay?
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And as soon as the bell rings, I'm just pulling out a gun. Shooting his fucking leg.
Jesus.
How dare you do that to my boy Max? He's ducking me.
Yeah.
And then when I meet him, I'm going to be so nice. Would he be like, oh, hi, big fan? Which is crazy to think about. You know he's your age.
Yeah, he is my age.
That's insane. You ever look at someone like that and you're like, fucking A, bro.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
But I'm also like, yeah, bro. I don't know, man. Ilya is so fucking good. I'm just really amazed by what a year he's had. And also, I can eat my own words. He does very much seem to be like the cameras are on. When the cameras are on, he's kind of like this super... He's kind of like a character.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing it for the promotion.
Think it's cringy, though.
I don't think it's cringy either.
Yeah. It's not like
someone was calling him like a Conor McGregor ripoff.
I don't agree with that.
I don't think so either.
I think he's doing more of his own thing.
Yeah, but he's also adding like a Latin spin to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because honestly, no one from like that's able to speak Spanish has ever done really that good in UFC, to be honest.
Yeah, he speaks it really good too.
Yeah. And like also, I think another part of why this fight didn't happen immediately after UFC 300 is I think he wanted to learn English. It's like, dude, he's way like in the press conference, everything he was speaking in pretty fluent English for someone that's
hasn't he always, dude? I've seen interviews of him.
No, but it's like having like way better cohesive sentences. Yeah, I could talk a little bit, but not like how we are. I swear to God, he did not talk like that, especially for like the Josh Emmett fight or even leading up to Volkanovski.
I think I remember all of those things, dude.
I'm pretty sure you're wrong, mate.
I don't think so.
Look at it right now. Little bitch.
Such a fucking drama queen.
I don't even know what UFC it is.
See,
it was like UFC. I think it was
Why
UFC
don't you just
2.
Type Ilya interview.
You can never spell his name correctly.
It's the easiest fucking name to spell, Richard.
Tiboria. Yeah, we just saw our boy get it. He's just on the canvas. God damn it.
Dude, I do like his red and gold trunks. Those are fire, bro.
Yeah.
And it matches well with the gold. Fuck, and he knocks Max out in the Hawaiian shorts. Yeah. God damn it. Okay.
But look at it for when he was going up with against Volk. I swear to God, he did not speak that good of English. Or even the Josh Emmett fight.
This is Volkanovski.
No, that's the newest one, you idiot.
That's 298, dummy. That's 8 months ago when he won the title.
Okay. I swear I said 8 minutes ago.
Wix.
It
gives you
8 months ago,
to tell
sir.
your story. With it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
For the last knockout too.
but guess what? The only person you need to achieve anything in this life is yourself. Just trust
He's
yourself.
speaking pretty fluently to me.
But I'm talking about like trash talk wise with someone.
I don't think so.
I do.
I think you're wrong.
I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm right. Anyways, I think it's a good time to end the episode. We're just going on a weird tangent now.
Yeah. All right, guys. You finish it off. I started it off.
Anyways, if you guys are new here, subscribe. Link to my YouTube channel down below. If this guy puts out videos, then we'll have videos out. If you guys are new here, subscribe. We appreciate you.
Later.
Peace.